にちは、皆さん。はい、クレイトーカー、ユナイテッドエンパイア。今日は試合があった。そして彼がエンパイアの応援してくれるんですよ。みんな、ブローキンテーブルポッドキャスト、よろしく。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. This is episode number 35. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, here as always with my co-host, Rome. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing excellent.
Awesome, man. Awesome to hear. This is your AEW Dynamite review show for the Wild Card Wednesday. And thank you for everybody listening on Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and what we got, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcasts as well. I may have said that twice, but you know. And everybody on YouTube, thank you guys for watching as well. Please hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Let's get right into the Jokers on this one, man. I was pleasantly surprised with the men's Joker turning out to be Johnny Elite. Somebody may know him as Johnny Nitro, John Morrison. He goes by quite a few different aliases there. Put on a great match with Samoa Joe. And then for our ladies Joker, I know you were very pleasantly surprised for this one. Turned out to be MAKI Ito, who you had predicted a few days ago, if not last week, I believe.
Yeah, I had heard some rumblings about MAKI Ito not being available for a signing over in Japan. And it just seemed kind of odd to me. So I was very, very happy to see MAKI Ito. I've waited 3 years to see her get back in, I guess maybe like 2.5, but 2.5 years to get back in AEW, and was very happy to see her. And I also agree with the Johnny Elite signing and debut. I'm happy with that. I understand a lot of people were expecting Johnny Gargano. I was also expecting Johnny Gargano, but you know, whatever you want to call him, Elite, Morrison, whatever, he's really an underrated worker. The guy's an excellent pro wrestler.
Oh yeah,
who puts on great work, whether it be on the mic, in the ring. The guy's got it all. So
absolutely.
I think it's a great signing. I didn't like the match that much, but I'm actually not really blaming it on him. Do we want to get into the match, or do you want to keep talking about?
Yeah, that is actually our first match, so let's go ahead and just get right into that one. Samoa Joe versus the Joker, Johnny Nitro. I'm sorry, Johnny Elite.
Yeah, so this wasn't a knock really against the guy. I mean, Joe was not in sync for this match, and there was a lot of spots that didn't go off the way they were supposed to, and a lot of it was Joe just not being in the right place at the right time. That being said, I thought that the match was solid. It wasn't a bad match. It just, I just think that the match could have been better, and I am going to put it on Joe more so. He just didn't seem like he was ready for Johnny Elite's spots, and I mean, maybe he just wasn't the right first opponent to bring Johnny Elite in against. Not that Johnny Elite needs to win the match necessarily. I don't think that everyone that debuts needs to win and go on this undefeated streak, because if everyone does it, then what's the point? But I don't know. Again, I love the signing. I love the fact that he's here. I don't know if I would have done it in that spot, or maybe in the tournament, fine, but maybe have him again go against Kyle O'Reilly and lose. You know what I mean? Or something. I don't know. I would have done it a little bit differently, but I'm happy he's here regardless.
Yeah, the very first, the very first interaction between the two, they went to punch each other, and I don't know what happened with Joe, but he put his face right into Morrison's fist, and he made Morrison punch him straight in the mouth, and he looked at Morrison like, what the fuck? And Morrison was like, dude. Yeah, I did notice there was a few missteps here, but I thought it was overall a decent match, especially the latter half, when Morrison got to showcase his skills there, especially his Starship Pain, I think he calls it. That move is nuts. Even though, Joe got the knees up, still looks so good.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was all in all a good match. It was solid. I mean, it's just it could be a lack of chemistry. It could be Joe having an off night. I
Yeah,
mean, it happens.
I do think it was
Um,
lack of chemistry, but there was a couple of spots that I actually enjoyed. Like Joe hit a really big shoulder tackle on him, and Johnny spun like somebody in a kung fu movie that just got kicked into oblivion. That was pretty cool.
yeah.
But yeah, so Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam come out and attack Samoa Joe after the match. I think they hit him with a big old lead pipe again. Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Chucky D came out for the save. I was not expecting them to come out for the save, but it was a pleasant little surprise, you know. I'm wondering if that means we're going to be seeing the best friends down in Ring of Honor a little bit, huh?
Well, I mean, the best friends had gotten involved with this storyline back in when they were here in Philly.
Okay, did they?
So they've kind of been involved with it. So
Okay.
yeah.
I must have forgot about that.
Yep.
All right, so next up was a quick Jeff Hardy and the Bucks promo. We had Jeff Hardy, you know, sitting on a doctor's table, and Matt was advising that he has been cleared for tonight's match against Adam Cole. The Bucks show up, give him a little bit of shit, and Matt says, "If you guys interfere at all, I'm gonna kick both your asses." This was decent build for what's coming. What'd you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a good segment to kind of set some stuff up. I mean, I'm getting the vibe that we're going to get Bucks versus Hardys at Double or Nothing, which that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I didn't think they were going to do it this soon in their run, but I mean, hell, I'm cool with it. Like, let's do it.
Yeah, it really seems like Jeff is hurting pretty bad. You can kind of see it on his face in some of his matches and stuff. So maybe they need to get it done sooner than later.
I don't think it's necessarily that. I mean, I do think he's banged up from the match last week, but I mean, he's older.
Yeah.
They're just the
You saw
Hardys aren't
BTE,
in their
right?
20s or even their 30s at this point. What?
You saw BTE, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think that promo that Matt cut, you know, about like his body is destroyed. I think a lot of that was true, you know.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, of course. I mean, Jeff's style is it. It's the same thing with Darby Allin. Like, when
Yeah.
Darby is Jeff Hardy's age, Darby's gonna be moving probably at the same pace that Jeff is.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's just Jeff's style, and he still puts on good matches, good shows, so
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
fine. But I mean, yeah, he's definitely in pain. I mean, I think most of these wrestlers that are over 40 are in pain all the time. I mean, what they
Yes.
put their body through.
Especially the crazy extreme high flyers. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so next up we had CM Punk coming out to join the commentary table for Hangman Adam Page versus Konosuke Takeshita. Dude, this match was freaking awesome. That guy Takeshita is freaking good.
Yeah, he's really good, man. This is an excellent match. Like, I love this match.
Oh,
This was awesome, and yeah, man, this Japanese talent coming in, this is this is the AEW partnership with these Japanese wrestling companies that we're seeing,
yeah.
and they're these talent coming over, they're putting on excellent matches, and it's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. This was such a good match, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is Takeshita is from DDT, the organization that Kenny negotiated that deal with. So he's not part of, well, he might be part of the NJPW, but they advertise him as from DDT. So
Yep.
we got multiple organizations that they got, you know, stuff going on with. It's really, really refreshing to see. I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, Japanese wrestling has kind of struggled to maintain a foothold here in the States. I mean,
Yeah.
it has a following, absolutely, but they're like they need someone like AEW to kind of help for like kind of elevate themselves here in the States, and that goes vice versa. AEW, by partnering with New Japan and DDT and these Japanese promotions, they're going to gain more popularity in Japan. It's a win-win partnership, and I mean, really, everybody except for the Fed wins in this situation, because it's just AEW fans get to see these awesome Japanese talents. Japanese fans get to see the awesome AEW talent.
Yep.
The wrestlers are having dream matches. Both companies are making more money. Like it's awesome. I love to see it. The Forbidden Door is one of the most special things that have happened because of AEW.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if I've announced this yet on the podcast, but me and the wife will be there at Forbidden Door, so I will have some cool videos taken from inside the stadium, probably from outside the stadium. If I can gather up the courage, I may try to interview some people outside the stadium, but we shall see.
Yeah, you got to print like 1,000 business cards out for that.
Oh yeah, I got a stack waiting.
Well, that's good.
All right, so getting back to this match, man, holy shit, this was one of the incredible matches of the night. There was so many spots in this, I can't list them all, but I really loved the spot where they double clotheslined each other and they both just kind of like fell down like they were both knocked out. Just awesome match. If anybody watches one match from tonight, you got to go back and watch this match right here. This match was fantastic.
Yeah, I thought the finish was wild. Having them both up on the top rope and just kind of trading blows, then them falling down, and
that was scary.
It ended with, yeah, man, I thought that something really bad was going to happen. I was like, oh man, these guys are up there.
Yeah, so essentially Hangman was trying to do one of his crazy, backflip sentons off the top, but Takeshita just reversed it into a clothesline off the top rope. But they both basically landed on their feet. That was insane. I thought they were gonna die.
Yeah, and then Page hits the buckshot lariat, and then he hits the GTS. And we've been talking about it after all these segments. I mean, I'm still like, I think CM Punk's winning the title. I mean, you just see kind of what Punk's doing in this feud, and you see what Hangman's doing in this feud, and it just feels like that's the way they're going.
Yeah, and the moment that you could tell that Hangman was going for the GTS, Punk was like, I got him right where I want him. And it was like Punk knew he was gonna do that. You know what I mean? And it was just great. He was like, come on, finish him, do it. Yeah, go. Like he had planned all of this out. Like if Punk doesn't win this title now, I don't know what we're gonna do, because I think it's time. I really, really think it's time. He needs that belt. Time to strap him up.
I do agree with you. I'm much more high on Hangman's title reign still than you are. I think if Hangman retains the title, I'm still in the same boat with Hangman as I have been. He's definitely won me over in the last 7 months or whatever it's been, 8 months since he won the title. Was not a big Hangman guy before. I am now, and I think that he's having a fantastic title reign. Although I do agree with you, I think it is time to give CM Punk the title. And we're going to talk about this a lot next week, because next week is Double or Nothing week. So there's going to be a lot of, quite a few episodes of the podcast. There's probably going to be about 3 or 4 episodes next week. So we're going to talk about it a lot in depth. So I won't go too much into it now. But yeah, I think it's time.
Yeah.
Something I really liked was this stare down at the end with Punk and Hangman, and it was done slightly differently.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it. It was more of instead of a stare down, it was more of a sizing each other up type thing, where it was like they're like kind of circling, and I thought that was really cool. And like not enough stare downs have that like movement. I don't know, maybe I'm just being weird, but I thought it was like a really cool, like it's not like the first time it's ever been done, but kind of like they're like Hangman's like circling Punk, and I was like, this is cool.
Yeah, it looked to me like, when two guys square up to fight, they kind of circle each other a little bit, boxing match type stuff. Neither one of them put their hands up or anything like that, but they kind of waited for the crowd to choose a side. And as soon as the crowd started chanting CM Punk, Punk smiled and nodded his head, and Hangman just shoved him out of the way and walked off, like, so.
Yeah.
I thought this was very good as well. I like how it happened on the ramp, not in the ring. I think it was perfect for it to happen right there on the ramp. That was beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. I was a huge fan of that. Also, just to point it out, they were in Houston tonight.
Yes, they were.
So Hangman, he's a cowboy. You would think that he's gonna kind of get a little bit of an advantage here, but not so. This
Oh
crowd
no.
was about 75% Punk.
People know he's not from the South. He's from Virginia. Well, I guess you could call that the South, but he's not from like the mid South.
I mean, his gimmick still resonates down there.
Yeah, Punk's too big though. He's too big.
Yeah, I wore a CM Punk shirt to work today, and I'm just ready for it. I'm so excited for Double or Nothing.
Oh
It's
yeah,
time.
I can't
I know
wait.
I said I was going to talk about it next week. I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it tonight and next week. It's fucking time, man.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just time. Like, let's do it. Let's pull this trigger. Let's just do it.
Yep. All right, and then next up, you probably didn't write this down, but I just wanted to mention it because it's a really big deal. The commercial for DraftKings partnering up with AEW. This is a huge sponsorship. DraftKings is one of the biggest sports betting apps, websites on the planet, and that's just a major sponsorship that they've landed there. I'm really happy they've got that going.
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool. I didn't write it down, but I did remember it. It's the direction that they're going, and it's really good for them, and it's really good indication for their TV deal coming up in 2024 or 2023. 2023 is the TV deal.
Yeah.
So again, a lot of people have been a lot of the haters have been very critical of the changes going on at Warner, and what does that mean for AEW, and these people that supported AEW's launch are leaving. And no, like AEW, Warner's made it very clear that AEW is a product that is very important to them. Warner wants to have more sports. They see all the other networks, and they see all these other networks with sports. NBC, CBS, they all have sports out the ass. And Warner really wants to get in on that. And AEW is at ground zero for that. And that's huge. Like, people don't realize that they're going to get a lot of advertising. They're going to get a lot of push here.
Yep.
They're going to be part of their sports lineup, and that's probably honestly why they have the DraftKings sponsorship now, is to go alongside that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, next up was a pretty cool promo with Fuego del Sol. It did not go where I thought it was going. I was like, man, he's going to challenge the House of Black again, which, of course, he did. But this time he's got some backup. I was not expecting my boy Evil Uno to walk into the frame there with Big Man 10. But we got a masked trio here. And the way that Evil Uno said it, like it's going to be Dark Order versus House of Black. I don't think Fuego's joining the Dark Order, but that's gonna be a decent, interesting match, huh?
Yeah, definitely. So I have two takeaways from this that I want to run by you. So the first one is, and you can tell me if this is a hot take, but I'm gonna say it's not. I'm just gonna say it. Fuego del Sol is a better promo than Sammy Guevara.
That's Sammy,
And
yeah.
I'm not just saying it like with what Sammy's doing right now. I'm just saying overall, like, this guy is a talker, is good. He's really good. He may not be the best in the ring, but he's got the promo skill down. Like, he's got
Yeah.
it. And I love his promos. My second takeaway from this, and I wrote it, and I even drew like a surprised face in my notes. Holy shit, the Dark Order are doing something.
Yeah.
Something. And I'm like, oh my God, here we are. It's been 9 or 10 months, but we finally have the Dark Order doing something.
Doing something.
And I'm doing something. And I don't know how long it's going to last. But I'm going to, again, if I'm going to take shots, I'm also going to give credit where credit's due. They're doing something.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that they're doing something.
And just in time, I just finally found a Evil Uno figure at one of my local stores and got him over here right next to the mask. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, it should be definitely a good match on Friday. Very interesting, by the way, and we'll talk about it later. But there was nothing announced for there was no rundown, so I have no preview for you tonight.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's just because of time. But yeah, I don't know. So I guess that's happening on Friday.
I think there was one thing I saw announced, and I did write it down because I wanted to make sure. We'll get to that.
Well,
All
there
right.
was
So
some stuff that was announced
what's that?
throughout the night. There was some stuff that was announced throughout the night, but it wasn't like kind of put together in a presentation. Like I think we're getting Statlander and Red Velvet on Friday.
Yeah.
We're getting that match on Friday. The House of Black versus Dark Order. I don't know. There wasn't like a set preview like there usually
No
is.
worries. All right. So next up was Swerve and Keith Lee versus the Workhorsemen. Holy shit! This match finally woke the crowd up, and I mean, not to say that they weren't awake before, because they were chanting CM Punk and Hangman and stuff like that. But this match, the crowd was like noticeably way louder and way more into this match. They absolutely loved Keith Lee and Swerve here. The massive bask in his glory chants, and then I think the Who's House chants were the loudest I've ever heard. This was awesome. I think this is Keith Lee's hometown or college hometown, something like that.
Yeah, home state. I think.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But
so
go ahead.
So like, this is your weekly reminder that WWE released these guys. Like, what is wrong with them? Like, I'm like watching this match, and these guys are super over. They're over AF. They're just, and they're awesome, man. I love them.
Dude,
I love Swerve Strickland. I love Keith Lee.
Just watching Swerve go to the ring, this dude just like exudes this charisma. He's got that swagger, man. Like, I don't understand how they let him go. It is baffling to me.
Well, that's the great thing. It's about everybody in this feud right now is that every single one of them oozes charisma.
Yeah.
You got Swerve, you got Keith Lee, you have Ricky Starks, who like, oh my God, this guy. Like, you got Hobbs, who like probably is the least charismatic of all of them, but is also at the same time very charismatic.
Yeah.
It's like in comparison, he comes off as kind of bland, but like he's not. Like he's not. He's great. It's just like,
yeah,
man. And then you have Jurassic Express come out, and yeah, it's some great disses. Everyone's just dissing each other, and I'm loving it. I'm cracking up. The disses tonight across the show were on fire.
Yeah. Now the match ended with this new finisher that Swerve and Keith Lee came up with. I believe it was last week. We saw it once, and he actually put out a thing on Twitter. Swerve did, saying, "Hey, help us name this finisher." I want it to be called Strictly Business, and like strict, like kind of like Swerve Strickland, and then Lee, like Keith Lee, so Strictly Business. You know what I mean? But it's a power bomb, double foot stomp off the top rope. It is one of the most brutal double finishers in tag wrestling right now. I absolutely love that thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's definitely a great move. I love the move. I would kind of go more in the direction. I know that Keith Lee kind of has like a move called the Spirit Bomb, but I think something like that would be a really cool name for it.
I'm down with that too.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a great move though. It is a great move.
Yeah.
And so Jurassic Express comes out, and Christian Cage challenges both teams to a three-way tag match for the World Tag Team Championship at Double or Nothing, and that's going to be an awesome match. In the meantime, Christian Cage says that next week it will be Jungle Boy versus Ricky Starks versus Swerve Strickland in a triple threat match.
That match is going to be so good.
Yeah, I'm expecting a big show next week because next week's a 3-year anniversary show. So
yep, and it's our road to Double or Nothing.
Yep, it's the go home show. Oh. It's in Vegas. It's going to be a big show. I actually think that there's a chance we get a debut next week.
Really, next week?
I really do. I really do. I mean, I don't know. It just feels it's a huge show, or like maybe a return, or like I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get something really crazy happen. If not on Wednesday, obviously a Double or Nothing. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. So I don't know, but just it's a big show next week.
Yeah, and you might be right considering like where's the TNT title going to be? What's that going to be doing at Double or Nothing? Do we know yet? You know.
Well, the TNT title is kind of it hasn't really been defended at every pay-per-view. It's
Oh,
more
you're
of a
right.
TV title. But I mean, I would like for it to be defended. I mean, yeah, I don't see why not.
I'm just
I
thinking
just
maybe
kind
we
of hope
see
we can.
Miro next week. That'd be a really nice return.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go back to your disses you were talking about here because they were really good. First, Swerve said that Ricky Starks looked like a bar of soap. And then Christian said, "You look like you're going golfing with my grandpa." Those were so good. So good.
Yeah, Swerve said, you look like a bar of soap wearing a pearl necklace.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Next up was a quick promo with Red Velvet and Statlander. And, you know, no offense to the ladies, but this was a little torturous for a moment there. And I actually wrote down, thank God Jade Cargill walked into the frame to save this segment. Basically, Jade interrupted and was just kind of being herself and said that Red Velvet was going to beat Statlander, and that was that. She told Tony to cut the shit. And then we got to probably my favorite segment of the night, MJF and the Wardlow lashing, the 10 lashes. So
yeah, man, this was perfect. This was a perfect segment here. Wardlow taking those 10 lashes. Just want to stop real quick because I did catch a video game take sign.
Oh,
Which
I missed it.
yes. So I don't know if you've played one of the franchises in the sign, but it said Xenoblade is better than Earthbound.
I'm lost on that one. Sorry.
Have you ever played Earthbound?
I don't think so. No.
Damn, dude, what are you talking about? You're older than me. You haven't played Earthbound?
I'm not even sure I've heard of it.
What do you mean? What do you mean you've never heard of Earthbound?
What console is it from?
Super Nintendo. It's the RPG with Ness from Smash Brothers.
No,
Lucas.
no.
Oh my God, you're older than me and you haven't played Earthbound? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm surprised I've never even heard of it, to be honest, because you know me,
I
I'm a
can't believe you've
video
never heard.
gamer.
It's like, have you ever heard of like the meme like localized Mother 3?
No.
What are you doing?
Might be a
Oh my
West Coast
God.
thing, you know. I'm from Vegas, bro. Might be a West Coast thing.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. What the hell? What is going on here? Like
Yeah, I don't know,
I
man.
find it so hard to believe that I don't know. All right, well, it's definitely a bit of a hot take. Some of the older folk, not Jeff, would definitely find it a hot take. Me, I like both games. I don't really have an opinion one way or the other on it, but apparently, that's more of an opinion than what Jeff has.
I'm actually gonna have to look them up after I
And you
go
don't
to
know what
bed
Xenoblade
tonight.
is either. I mean, that's more understandable. That franchise has only taken off over the Switch years, really. But neither of them. You don't know either of them.
No.
Oh wow,
No.
Jesus.
I mean, I do know the Xeno Chronicles ones. I've watched other people play
Oh, okay.
those. I think I've played one of them. Was it Xenoblade? I think
Okay.
I played that one.
Yeah, it's Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah. So okay, all right. That's something, I guess. I'm really kind of surprised. I thought you would have known what Earthbound is. That's
Yeah, same.
quite odd.
I'm shocked. And what's up, Jordan, in the
Hopefully,
chat? Maki Ito, yes sir.
yeah.
All right,
Jordan,
so
this
let's
guy's
get
learning
to the
Earthbound.
lashings here. I do believe I called this one. I said Wardlow was gonna no sell the lashings, the exact opposite of Cody selling them like he was a little kid. So
Wait a second. Hold on. Purpleness doesn't know what Earthbound is either. Oh my
oh
God.
no,
What is going on?
I mean she's younger. She's younger than me, you know.
Yeah, but I'm younger than both of you, I think, and
True.
I know what it is. I mean,
Jordan knows
yes, thank you.
Earthbound.
Thank you, Jordan. Oh my God, somebody is my hero. I'm sitting here talking to people that don't know what Earthbound is, and Jordan comes in to save the fucking day as usual.
Yeah.
Like, my God, what is going on here?
It might be the year I was like grounded and my dad wouldn't buy me any new games or anything. You never know.
You should probably go and find a way to play that game. It's a very good game. It's a very, very good game.
I do have a bunch of emulators. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's on the Switch's online service. If you guys paid for the SNES online, I don't know if you did. It's like $5 or whatever. It's on there.
All right.
So should definitely play that.
All right, so back to this Wardlow lashing segment. Like I said, I called this one. I said he was going to no-sell these lashes. But did you catch MJF's hands? The orange spray tan was just absolutely overdone.
No, I didn't catch that on him. I was too busy.
It was
looking
so
at
bad.
Wardlow.
His hands were so orange.
I had Super Mario World and Mortal Kombat for my SNES. It's
Nice.
even worse that she had an SNES and she didn't have Earthbound. Like, again, it's before my time, like, admittedly, but I don't know. All right, whatever. It is what it is. This segment was perfect. I thought this was excellent. I thought Wardlow's entrance was. It's got to be a rib with his hands now. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's the entrance was great. And I like the other day I was actually thinking about this, and I thought to myself, it would be so cool if Wardlow no sells the lashes, and it would be such a stark contrast from the Cody segment 3 years ago. And they really went that way, and I thought it was perfect. I thought the way it translated onto the screen was just fucking awesome. It was just he's a star. Everything that they've done in this rivalry, in this feud, has made Wardlow into a star.
Yep. I love that dude.
Yeah, so he takes the first hit, laughs, takes the second hit, laughs. MJF at this point gets psyched out and just lashes out and hits him 4 times
4,
in
5,
succession.
6, 7.
And it's nothing to him.
Nothing.
And then Spears takes it. He gets one. He laughs. The 9th one hurt. Now the 9th one hit him, and it fucking hurt. And I was watching this. Was like,
he wrapped it over his shoulder, so it kind of hit him like up here across the neck. And I don't think he meant to do that one. That one did get to him.
Yeah, I wonder if he was supposed to sell any of them, but I mean, I think it worked out for the better no matter what.
Yeah. And then the 10th one happened to be kicking the balls instead of an actual lashing. I didn't see it coming, to be honest with you. I thought they were going to do something else, but...
Yeah, no, they end the segment with a beatdown. And now next week, again, there's no preview for next week, but we have a lot of stuff kind of figured out already. We're going to have a steel cage match, Wardlow versus Shawn Spears next week. Wardlow has to win to get the match with MJF.
Yeah, and MJF is the special guest referee, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Not sure how Wardlow is going to win that one, but obviously to get the match at Double or Nothing, which aren't they already advertising?
Well, no, they're advertising it as if he can meet the stipulation, the match will happen. Okay. Which I don't know if you realize this, and they did something really cool for these for the card, and I don't know if you remember this, but I love it so much. It's so they do like the picture of the matchup, and like CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page, and it's usually like the two of them standing there in a picture.
Yeah.
But it's video. It's video now, and like the Fed used to do that back in the day. And I really like, there's something about it that just feels so nostalgic, but so cool.
Yeah. So somebody on Twitter actually kept asking, they kept on adding Tony Khan like every week. They're like, please do video packages on Twitter. Please do video packages. And he was like, fine, if you're not going to listen to me, I'll do it. And I think I have it right here. So if I hit that button, I got CM Punk flipping everybody off. He went and grabbed the same thing that I grabbed, and he made the graphic for Double or Nothing on Twitter, and he made it move. and Tony saw it and he was like, wow, he didn't say anything, but he was like, you guys asked for it, here you go. And then that's when they made those graphics. So he actually saw somebody on Twitter ask for it and he gave it to them, which was really cool.
Yeah, super happy about it. It's such a small little thing, but I love those little video cards. I don't even know what to call them, but I love them.
Yeah.
Um,
So Jordan says, so could Wardlow KO Spears with the power bombs, and that would negate the need for MJF to count to 1, 2, 3? But MJF being the ref, he would still have to be the one to signal for the bell with the knockout.
well, so here's what I think is going to happen here. And I actually think Jordan's really onto something here.
Same.
So I could see it going like this, right? So obviously it's a steel cage. The door is locked. It's Spears, Wardlow, and MJF in the cage. If Wardlow knocks out Spears, like he's out. And then MJF's like, well, I'm not ringing the bell. You're not winning this match. There's no way. And the Wardlow's like, okay, but you're fucking locked in a cage with me, and I'm going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And so I could see it as MJF is ringing the bell to get out of the cage, because as soon as the match is over, they open the cage door.
That's a really good point.
That's how I would do it. Jordan says Doc Samson could, and that's very true. But I think it's more meaningful to have MJF out of fear, or like out of like, I got to get out of the cage with this guy.
So
Yeah,
I see that it could also go like, let's say he picks Spears up for the power bomb and power bombs him into MJF, knocking them both out, and then just exits the cage, because you can win that way, correct? You just walk out the door.
not in AEW.
Oh, okay.
The match, the rules of a cage match are that it's pinfall, submission, or knockout inside the cage. Escaping the cage does nothing.
Okay, good. I didn't know that. And Jordan, you know what? That's funny. I mentioned that a long time ago, that Doc Samson posts stuff on Twitter that Wardlow is his son, and I'm like, is this true? Because they do look similar. But yeah, that would be a good thing for him to just kind of stand up and be like, nope, this is over. Sean Spears cannot continue. They could do it either way with the powerbomb into MJF or just the symphony on Spears. Either way.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we had Roppongi Vice promo on the Ring of Honor tag team titles, saying that they want to challenge FTR. They said they also want the IWGP tag titles and the AEW World Tag Team titles. So seems like they're on a little bit of a quest for gold there. I was okay with them talking about grabbing the Ring of Honor and IWGP, but once they mentioned the AEW, I was like, whoa, guys, pump the brakes.
What do you mean pump the brakes? Roppongi Vice is like a really well-known, well-established tag team.
I mean, I agree with you, but they're not even in the three-way for the title yet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but I mean, anyone that, like, you should want to win the championship of your division.
I can agree with that. Like, saying it makes them look like, they want to go after it, but.
So I was more concerned with some wording in here when Trent says that Roppongi Vice is back full time.
Yep.
And I was like, wait, what does that mean for the best friends? So immediately I took to Twitter to see if I could find some answers for this. And so Trent on Twitter said, we're doing an AMA for BTE this week. Drop some questions. And then I think Chuck Taylor's was like, he responded to it with, hey, I just got dumped by my tag team partner, AMA. But then right after that, Trent tweeted like a few minutes later, like, I am also full time with best friends. Best friends are not broken up. And I was like, thank God. Don't do that.
No, yeah. I didn't really think they were broken up, but I did notice that wording, like you said. I was like, oh, what's up with the best friends?
I think the wording more so, it might imply that maybe Rocky Romero is gonna stay with AEW. That's kind of how I took it.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I got to see Rocky on Sunday with Chucky D at the NJPW show. That was cool.
Yeah, I'm mad that I had shit I had to do that day, so I didn't get to go.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go next time though. No, it's good. I'm glad you had a great time. I'm definitely going to be there next time though. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so they do challenge FTR for the ROH title. Now we don't hear from FTR, but
They
so I
said
don't
for
know.
Rampage, right?
They said Rampage, but at no
Yeah.
point does FTR accept the match or the challenge. And again, there's no. It has to be because of time, like because
Yeah.
this show was packed. I think.
Packed.
So I think the problem is it's not really a problem. It's a great problem to have, but I think they're trying to get to Double or Nothing, and I think Tony Khan has a list of things he needs to get done before Double or Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the time is kind of catching up on him a little bit. I think he's trying to get everything finished. I think this Owen Hart tournament has taken up a lot more TV time than he anticipated. So I think that's kind of caused things to get a little delayed, which it's not a bad thing. This was another excellent episode of AEW Dynamite.
Yeah.
Like again, it's a good problem to have. Having so many good things to put on your television show that you don't get enough time to put everything on there is fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, but I think that's kind of what it came down to. I think Tony Khan's just trying to get to Double or Nothing and get all of his points across.
Yeah. Now, I think at the very end of their promo here, they were kind of like, Brett would accept the match. He would. I think that was kind of like telling us, like, they're going to accept the match after they said that. So I think we are getting that on Friday. I think that'll be one of our 3, possibly 4 matches.
Well, man, Rampage is stacked then, if that's the case.
I know, they might try to shove 5 matches in on us, I swear. Getting crazy over there.
Again, I'm telling you, they are pressed for time. They may try to do that.
Yeah.
It's coming down to the wire.
Yep. All right, next up was a Kyle O'Reilly versus Ray Phoenix match for the Owen Hart Cup quarterfinals. And oh my God, give me this match anytime. Holy shit, I love this. I'm a big Kyle O'Reilly fan. I love his ground and pound style. And of course, love Ray Phoenix and his high flyer style. And I was kind of worried this wasn't going to gel very well, almost like when 2 guys in a MMA fight have a shitty fight. But holy crap, this was so good. I loved this.
Yeah, man, it's a shame that the Adam Page match from tonight was so good, because this wasn't the best match of the night, but it was really damn good.
Yeah, it was very good. O'Reilly did his best to keep Phoenix on the ground, but as we all know, that's impossible. Once Phoenix started flipping and flying, match just got better and better as it went on. Shout out to the guy in the blue Manny Pacquiao shirt. That shirt was freaking awesome. If I knew where to find that, I'd be buying one. I love me some Manny Pacquiao. I love JR. JR did the O'Reilly thing from the commercial. I almost lost my shit.
Yeah, he's done that in the past, and it's like I recognize the reference, but it's such a weird reference to make.
Dude, the first time I saw Kyle O'Reilly, I was like, O'Reilly. I don't know why. Just something that happens to some of us.
Yeah, some of us that haven't played Earthbound.
Yeah. Oh, man. These dudes kicked the absolute shit out of each other for the latter half of this match. Kyle O'Reilly gets the win via armbar on Phoenix's... I don't want to say broken arm, but it was badly dislocated at the elbow a few months ago when we were at the show there in New Jersey. Or what was it? Newark, right?
Yeah, what a shitty place that was. Which, by the way, also, I just want to mention, back during the MJF Wardlow segment, right? So, like, remember how it started with MJF was like, I'm in Houston too. And he starts throwing up. Right? Like that's me in New Jersey. I'm just like, ooh, I feel like I'm gonna be fucking sick to my stomach. Yeah, blah.
Kyle O'Reilly's chest after this, like his chest and neck area just looked like hamburger meat. Phoenix chopped him up tonight. Oh my God, that had to be so painful. It was bad. It was like Bryan Danielson levels of redness and bruising on his chest.
Yeah, it was nasty.
I was glad there was no interruptions in this match. Nice clean win from O'Reilly. Just chose to hit the weak spot, the arm. That was a nice finish. Kyle O'Reilly is the only Canadian person left on the men's side. I'm not sure about the women's side, but he is the only Canadian left in the tournament. So we shall see how that goes.
Yep.
All right, and next up was the William Regal and Chris Jericho confrontation. And this did not start off how I thought it was going to. I thought we were going to get just Regal and just Jericho. But no, Regal came out with the entirety of the... I'm not sure if Eddie and Santana and Ortiz are in the club, but they're all there, and they're being all referenced as the Blackpool Combat Club at the moment. So it's a little wild, but I like it.
Yeah, I think they're just working together. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
long-term thing, but I mean, Kingston and Moxley are boys, so it's kind of like boys through association.
Yeah. Jericho's promo, oh my god, dude, he tore everybody in the ring a fucking new ass so hard. I was shocked at some of the stuff he said. You know, he went there with everybody. With Regal, talked about his addiction. With Mox, talked about going to AA. And what did he call Danielson? Just a nerd.
He called him a nerd.
Yeah, he just called him a nerd. Yeah. Danielson was like, okay, yeah.
Well, that was
but
the funny thing that happened later on, where he's like, Jericho's trying to create separation between them all. He's like, "Remember, Kingston, you called Danielson a judgy asshole."
yeah, a judgmental
Kingston's
prick.
like, yeah, judgmental prick, and Kingston's like, "You are."
Yeah, and Danielson was just
Danielson's
kind of like shrugged his shoulders, like, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "I kind of am."
Yep. And holy shit, man, Eddie Kingston is over as fuck everywhere he goes, man. I'm so happy for him right now. Super, super happy for Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, man, that guy is he's over everywhere. It's just some people have it, man. Some people have it, and some people don't. And
by the way, he was sitting on commentary for the Will Ospreay match versus Homicide in Philly, and he was like 10 feet away from me. I was like, Eddie.
but yeah, man, Jericho he went hard on everyone.
Oh.
And then Regal, his lordship, was just amazing. I love William Regal.
His lordship, that was good.
But yeah, so basically Jericho, he says, "Oh, I know what you guys want. You guys want to fight. Well, we're gonna challenge you to a stadium stampede." And Moxley's just like, "I ain't doing that shit.
I'm not doing that shit." That was great.
All right, here's the thing, right? Maybe I don't think this is a hot take, but it's a take I have. I understand we're not in the pandemic era anymore, but I still want stadium stampedes to be a thing.
Yeah.
I hope that they're not done forever. I think that they are legitimately enjoyable. And I do think that cinematic matches still have a place in wrestling.
Yes.
I understand not doing it for a year, but I hope we see it again. That being said, like I said last week, I feel like we're kind of leading into a blood and guts match. I think that's just kind of the natural progression here.
Yeah, I could have swore we were gonna get somebody to hand the mic to Regal there, and he was gonna scream blood and guts, but it didn't happen. But Regal did say something that made me laugh so hard I almost couldn't breathe for a minute. So Regal was talking to Jericho and said, "We've worked many shows together over the years, right? Hundreds of shows." And Jericho's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I just want you to know that every time you came out here to the ring for a match, I would go into the back, I would go into the locker room, I would go into your bag, into your toiletries, gently unzip your bag. I would take your toothbrush and shove it straight up my ass." Dude, I laughed so hard I was crying. I couldn't breathe. It was one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's like, how could you do something like that to somebody? And then Regal's like, "I did it to yours last week."
Oh man, dude. Regal is one of my absolute heroes. I love that man. He's an absolute treasure.
And then so Jericho's trying to, kind of caused the rifts, to happen in the Blackpool Combat Club. And he's like, Santana, remember when you had that match with Moxley, the eye for an eye match? Like, that was actually good.
Yeah, the good one. You could hear people audibly laughing in the crowd, like, ah.
Yeah, so it was an awesome segment. I really love this segment. It was super enjoyable. And I would assume next week we're gonna get the blood and guts match announced. But the other thing about it is that usually when you have these blood and guts matches, they usually have to sell the tickets in the arena in a certain way to have both rings. So I'm a little curious as to maybe they won't do it, because I was thinking about this, but like usually you kind of have to sell the tickets in a way where it's more shaped for two rings.
Now,
But
does Blood and Guts have to have the two rings? Is that like what that is?
Well, yeah, it's the War Games match.
Okay.
So it's two rings in a cage, and people enter into the cage, one at a time after the first two competitors enter.
Yeah, that might be why they're not
Okay.
calling it that, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of a staple of the match. So I do wonder. I would rather them go the blood and guts route, but I mean, maybe they end up just doing a 5-on-5 no DQ match. But I don't know. I think it'll be great no matter what. But I mean, I think if you're gonna do like the worst thing that happened, like the biggest knock against the last Blood and Guts match, the first one, apart from the weak camera angle of the ending, was the fact that it had commercial breaks on it. So like I would like for them to do the next Blood and Guts in a pay-per-view setting. I don't know if they're gonna do it though or not. I'm a little I'm intrigued. Hopefully they do it.
Right. All right. Well, next up, we had a quick little promo with Matt Sydal and Dante Martin challenging the Blackpool Combat Club for, I believe, did they say next
Rampage.
week on Dynamite?
No, they said Rampage.
They said
again.
Rampage, right? That's yeah.
Again, I'm a little peeved with TK this week because I know like the preview is kind of like my thing. I kind of always have it ready to go, and
Yeah, we couldn't get
let
an
everyone know.
Excalibur, quick rundown of this week. We could have done one of those in 30 seconds.
I think even he couldn't do it that fast.
Yeah, even Excalibur couldn't get it done tonight.
Yeah, so that's probably apparently set for Rampage. So we'll see, I guess.
Well, both of those dudes are going to get their heads kicked in, so we know that's going to happen. Next up was Britt Baker versus the Joker, who you called it, and I know you were very happy. I'm sure Jordan was happy. I was happy, but I bet you there's going to be some shit talkers out there. And for all of them, we got two fingers for you. Maki Ito is the Joker, and I was so happy to see her come running out with her microphone, and they let her do her full gimmick. I love it.
I love Maki Ito.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's so excellent. She looks great. Her gimmick is super cool, and she's just awesome. I love the story of her, how she's got a steel plate in her head. I believe that's part of her story.
Yeah.
Where it's like why she's got such a hard head is because she was a pop star, but then she became a wrestler, and she has a steel plate in her head from wrestling, and so she's just got this hard head. And like, man, I hope it's not a one-off. I really do. I hope that these were signings. I know Johnny Elite is signed. I really hope Maki Ito is signed. I haven't seen any like any announcement or anything like that, but
yeah, I haven't seen a Maki Ito as All Elite yet, but remember Tony Khan did say that both of the Jokers are new signings, so hopefully she's been signed for some amount of time.
I mean, that's true. I'm actually currently scrolling Twitter, admittedly, trying to.
Now, I know there's going to be people like, JD from New York. We're both big fans of his now. I know he's not happy with Maki Ito. He tweeted out immediately like, Jesus Christ, why? And, it may not be for everybody. Like a whole 2-hour show, just like the 3 hours of Raw and SmackDown, it's not for everyone. But I loved it. I love Maki Ito. You know, it's one of those things. You're either gonna love it or hate it, and apparently we love it, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just a little quick little breaking news for you, because you texted me about it before the show.
Mhm.
So Anthony Bowens was not there tonight. He was not there because he got knee surgery tonight.
Oh,
Yes, his boyfriend, I believe, on Instagram said it.
do we know why he had knee surgery? We didn't hear anything about any injuries, did we?
He was battling an injury, but he had wrestled since. So I don't know if
Yeah.
maybe the injury kind of got worse or it was re-injured.
Well, there
Um,
is a knee surgeries that like some quarterbacks go through that it's just kind of like cleaning something out in the knee. So maybe it's like a minor thing. They were just going in there to do something small, but that's very weird to hear about a knee surgery without any sort of announced injury.
yeah, it's weird. I'm just, making sure we report on it. So
Yeah, definitely. Good job. So this was a great match, actually. If you remember any of Maki Ito's matches from, a few years ago, they were just as entertaining, but she wasn't quite as good in the ring. Like a lot of her punches missed a little bit back then, and some of her spots were a little shaky back then, but I thought this was great. Her and Britt put on a fantastic match. I love the way that they started out with a hug, and it looked like Maki was gonna lay down for Britt, but then she rolled Britt up. That was so I loved it. I loved it.
yeah, I was super happy to see that Makito has really improved in the 2 years since I've seen
Yes.
her last. Um, it was awesome. Again, I hope there's more of her. I want to see more of Makito in AEW. If not, you know what? I'm gonna figure out a way to watch DDT. I gotta figure it out because I
Yeah.
wanna. I think she's in.
And
No, she's in Stardom, right?
I believe so. I think she's all over the place, but I believe it's Stardom.
I don't know.
Um
I gotta find a way to watch her shit because I need more Makito.
the one spot that got me, right after the roll up, Britt was like super pissed off because it looked like they negotiated, her taking the fall. Britt was all mad and walked over, and she kind of did the whole forearm slap thing to Maki. And Maki stood there like a little like a 6-year-old girl and screamed and cried. She was like, ah. I don't know why I loved that so much, but I laughed so hard. I was like tears streaming down my face.
Again, it's just such a perfect gimmick because it's Tokyo Joshi Pro. Okay,
Tokyo
thank you.
Joshi Pro. There we go.
I'm gonna check it out. Um, but now I love the gimmick because it's like she's super tough, but then like she's doing it so she could do the step on the foot, and she does the very anime esque like step on the foot, and then like kind of like move like press down and squish your foot, and then flips her off.
That's funny you say
I
that.
absolutely love it.
It's funny you said
It
that because the wife literally messaged one of her friends. She's like, "Are you seeing this? This girl's literally an anime character."
Yeah, that's her gimmick. She's an anime character,
Yep.
and like not all the Japanese wrestlers, that's their gimmick. But her gimmick is she's an anime pop star. Like
Yeah,
that's what her gimmick is, and I fucking love it.
it's
It's
great.
amazing.
Absolutely great.
Give me more Makito.
Yeah, give me more. The crying was the best. Yeah. So Britt wins the match via the lockjaw. And Tony Storm comes out. So, we're gonna get that match between Tony Storm and Britt Baker like we have been wanting. I definitely can't wait to see this match. Is it just me, or does Britt have better matches without the belt? I really, really do feel like Britt has better matches without the belt.
I 100% agree with you. I don't know if there's some sort of stigma with being the champion or like, I don't know what it is. Some people are just better in different situations.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree with you. I think since Britt's lost to Thunder Rosa, Britt's been doing very, very well.
Uh-huh. All right, so next up came a Serena D promo with Tony Schiavone. She calls out Dustin Rhodes and says, how dare you say I can't beat Thunder Rosa? She called out Tony Schiavone for saying Rosa was going to win. there was a very awkward line she threw in here when she was yelling at Dustin. She said, I got breast implants put in to appease a perverted old man. And I was like, my eyes lit up. I was like, what the did she just say? Um, is she's obviously referring back to her time in the WWE, right?
Oh yeah, because she's also saying like I shaved my head
Yeah.
to show that how committed I was, and yeah, that was the straight edge society. Um, I mean, yeah, so I don't really know how I feel about this. Like at first I liked it, and now it's marinating on me more, and I'm kind of feeling a little bit like opposite. Like I don't think it was a bad promo. I
No.
think that there was a lot of realism, and it was very raw, and that doesn't equate to a bad promo. Could
No.
it be that Deeb was kind of influenced by the going ons of the Fed this week, and she's just kind of reminiscing on her time there and
Yeah.
her frustrations there? Possibly. I mean, but like again, like this wasn't a bad promo, and the people that are like shitting on this promo, like because I did see a few people like were like really down on it, and I was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a bad promo, it was just awkward. But I wonder if awkward was kind of what they were going for. um
Yeah. I just don't
it,
think
it
it
just
came across the way that they had envisioned it. But it wasn't a bad promo by any means. I've seen way worse. Like Jordan said, I've seen much worse.
I think it comes down to Serena Deeb's promo style. Like that's her style of speaking. So like I don't know. I have to think that they intended it to come off that way, but it was very weird because you had Shivani out there talking about how the 3-year anniversary is next week. So then Deep comes out, makes a fuss about Shivani saying that she can't beat Thunder Rosa, and she calls out Dustin, and Dustin's like right there, I guess, because he comes out before she's even done calling him out,
Yeah.
which I think that kind of made it even weirder. It's like he was ready to go. Like they should have waited like 5 or 6 seconds. Like, oh, he's back there. Let him get to the stage.
Again, they were hurrying up, time.
Yeah, I agree with what Jordan's saying here. Very unscripted, and
Yeah.
I felt like they just let Deep go. And I mean, again, like none of the promos in AEW are really scripted. It's more so bullet points are given and just kind of, hey, hit your mark, dude. Do you? You have
Yep.
the creative freedom to do it. And I think this is one of those times. I think Tony Khan's intention was, hey, people are counting you out. These people like make sure it's mentioned. And I think Deeb decided to take that to a real place, where I mean, like we I mean it's not good. She survived being a diva in the era where like all the women wrestlers they went and they got breast implants. They did what they had to do to make it work in that company in that era. And like I think she has every right to be upset about it. I think she has
Oh
every
yeah.
right to again, it that promo was real and it was raw. And for me, most of the time those promos are good. So
Yeah. I didn't think it was
yeah.
bad. I just think we haven't seen Rosa on the mic almost at all. So I feel like they kind of put her on an island out there, and they brought Dustin out and Tony out to kind of make her not so just on an island. But even though they were both there, it was still just her, yelling on the mic at them. Like somebody else needed to be on the mic to take a little bit of that pressure off of her, I feel like.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's that necessarily. I think the problem, you know what? My problem with this promo isn't that it was a bad promo, but it wasn't what this storyline needed. I think this
Yeah.
storyline, this feud really needed something to kind of jumpstart it and really give it some some power, you know what I mean? Some pizzazz. And this promo is not that promo. Like this is not a promo for a feud that just started 2 weeks ago and kind of hasn't really taken legs yet. It's just kind of there. So like
Well,
they're like I just feel like there's no momentum going into this match, a double or nothing.
yeah,
Which
I think this needed a face-to-face confrontation with her and Rosa winding up in them trading blows and everybody holding them back type thing.
again though, I think that this is an unfortunate side effect of the Owen tournament. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like it's taken up so much TV time that they shouldn't, like, they didn't have enough time to get this storyline across. And I really think they need to start considering making Elevation be more important.
Oh,
We
Jordan
talked
just
about this
hit
on
the
our
nail on the head. They should have had Deeb do a 5-minute challenge tonight, and Rosa should have came out and cost her the match. That would have been fucking genius.
Yeah, I thought that would have been great. But we really need to start looking at Elevation in a different light. I think so. This week we talked about it on the episode yesterday that Elevation and Dark were far better than they normally are.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to keep going on that track where it's like, if Tony Khan doesn't have enough time to get these storylines out, and things are getting pushed to the wayside, important things are getting pushed to the wayside. Honestly, dude, I would just say have Elevation carry more of these big time matches. Make Elevation destination viewing, even if it's on YouTube, which, like, it is. Like, I don't think AEW devalues their YouTube shows, but I think you can have Dark be the enhancement matches and have that hour of Elevation, like, help you kind of have you, like, stretch out the product a little bit. Like, we could have maybe some of these Owen matches on Elevation. I mean, I understand that you have to worry about spoilers at that point because you have to let it sit for 5 days, and that's probably why they don't do it. But I just think maybe even didn't do promos on Elevation. Like, I don't know. I think you could definitely use Elevation or use something to your advantage, because if you're running out of time and your women's world title match has no build to it or no momentum going into it, something you have to try to address.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna have you do this last match here of Cole versus Jeff Hardy, because we're having a first-time visit to the stream by Zelda the cat. I don't know what just possessed her to jump up on me, but she's all up in my
Okay.
business here. So take it away on this Adam Cole versus Jeff Hardy match.
Absolutely. But first, I'm going to comment on Jordan's comment saying Elevation on Saturday mornings. I think that that's a really good idea. I
Hell
think that
yeah,
could
like
really
Saturday
help.
morning cartoons back in the day.
Yeah, kind of. I think that would actually be a really good idea. I think it's, yeah, I really like that idea, actually. The more I sit on it, maybe like, yeah, Saturdays at like noon. That could be cool. Even, like, I don't know. I like that. I think that's a really good idea for a YouTube show for a time slot. Um, or yeah, even on TBS. Yeah, that would be wild. I mean, that would be cool. But anyway, so we're at the main event. We have the Owen semifinal match: Adam Cole versus Jeff Hardy. So Jeff Hardy comes out to his entrance, and Adam Cole attacks him from behind before the match starts. And this match was very short. It went about 8 minutes, which, some people aren't super happy with. I think that for Jeff Hardy in a regular singles match, especially because he's probably beat up from last week, I think that was fine. I didn't really have an issue so much with it. It was a fine match. I mean, it wasn't anything special, wasn't anything to write home about. I think that Jeff Hardy was put in this tournament specifically to face Darby Allin last week, and that's why it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I thought it was fine, and nothing too special, nothing great, but nothing awful. I mean, relatively
I
short
mean,
match with Cole picking up the win.
yeah, I thought it was a decent match. Another clean win in this one. I expected some shenanigans, especially after the Hardys earlier had said, if you get involved in this match, we're gonna kick your ass. So yeah, another clean win. Adam Cole gets the win there. But
Well, yeah, and
afterwards,
also,
go ahead.
excuse me. Also, I think that it really made sense for this match to be short. Um, you had the fact that Jeff is clearly not 100%. You
Yeah.
have the fact that Adam Cole jumps him before the match starts, and I mean, I think that this match was booked very well leading up to it. I think Tony Khan knew that he was going to have to rush this one. Um, and I think it worked out.
Yep, I agree.
So
So
the match
after
ends,
Cole
and
gets the
then
pin there, the Bucks kind of come out to surprise the Hardys from behind. It looked like they were going to give them a quick super kick. I like that. What did you think?
yeah, I thought it was good. They end up having Adam Cole attack them. Yeah, it seems like we're going in a direction for Double or Nothing to have the Hardys versus the Bucks, which will be great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm all about it. I'm ready for it. I think it's going to be good. But so there's a beatdown going on. Sting and Darby come out, and they're getting involved. Red Dragon come out, and they put Sting's ankle in a chair and do the crushing their ankle spot.
Yeah, that was
And
crazy.
yeah, and the show just cuts off the air. Like, we're out of time, and they just cut, and then American Dad's on, and I'm like, I don't want to watch American Dad. I want to watch more AEW.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with that. I wonder. Usually, that spot's kind of reserved for like taking people off TV for a little while. So I wonder what's going to happen with Sting.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, oh, Sting's getting written off TV for a bit. So that made me immediately think next week we're going to be getting trios of, the Hardys and Darby versus, I don't know who it's going to be. Probably Adam Cole and Red Dragon, maybe? I don't know if they'll put the Bucks in there right away, but we'll see. I think we're going to get something like that next week.
I don't know. I think next week is shaping up to be such a stacked week. I don't know if we're going to get that match. I mean, Adam Cole's set for the finals, so he's going to be in the Owen finals in the pay-per-view.
I'm just
The
trying to
Bucks
think
don't have him
what could be the
somehow.
reason for that Sting spot,
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason for it. So
yeah, we'll see. I'm sure we'll figure it out sometime throughout the week. Maybe on Rampage they'll announce something. We'll see.
yeah, it could be planting the seeds for a Darby versus Adam Cole feud. That could be a thing possibly.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, but Darby already got eliminated from this tournament, which is kind of odd, But yeah, they could still happen.
I'm saying like after the tournament.
Yeah. Okay, so in the tournament, do you know who is coming up next? Jordan says Cole versus Joe. I don't think that's correct yet, is it?
Not yet, but I mean, it's most likely the way they're going to go.
Yeah,
so
that looks like that might be the finals.
We have Adam Cole in the finals already, and then next week on Dynamite, we're going to get Joe versus Kyle O'Reilly.
There it is.
For the other semifinal, and then that'll be the finals. So it's going to be Joe. I can't see Kyle O'Reilly beating Samoa Joe. I don't see that happening.
Now, I said, man, I think Kyle O'Reilly's the last Canadian left. I think they're going to put him in there versus Adam Cole.
I don't know. I don't think so.
You're probably right. I'm probably putting too much stock in the Canadian thing. You're probably right, but we'll see.
I know. Well, it is what it is. And then so then the women's side I think I think it needs its entire semifinals done still. So we're gonna have Red Velvet and Chris Statlander on Friday. We're gonna have Tony Storm and Britt probably on Wednesday.
Yep.
Trying to think of the rest of the bracket. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Yeah, how do we get to the finals of the women's by they're gonna have to do Dynamite and Rampage to get to the finals.
Yeah, again, I think it's a time constraint. I think that this tournament's taken up a lot of time, and it's set Tony Khan back a little bit on his plans.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's pivoting pretty well on it. But I mean, we'll see what happens. Again, I love a good tournament, and I think that this has been a really fun. This has been awesome. It's led to some really excellent wrestling matches.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing.
Yo, David Arias, thank you for the subscribe on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, so that's Dynamite. I thought that was an excellent show. I mean, we're kind of riding a high here with the road to Double or Nothing. Rampage is on at 7 p.m. this week, and we will be doing a live podcast afterwards at 8 p.m.
Yes. Maybe it
And
might
so
be
that'll
around
be
8:30ish, possibly. Maybe 9 o'clock. We'll see. I get
right.
off work right at 8, and I got to get some food in me first.
Gotcha. We'll try to figure it out.
Yeah.
All right. So I have two little things to kind of go over real quick before we end the podcast. Number one, I have a rumor that kind of came across my desk. And so there is a rumor going around that Tony Khan will be debuting at Double or Nothing 2 new championship belts.
Yes, I
Now,
do believe I heard that as well.
yes, now these belts are apparently going to be delivered to the men's and women's Owen tournament winners.
What?
Now, yes,
Okay.
it's a rumor that I've heard. I don't know how much I believe the rumor, but the source that I got it from has given some good stuff, some not so good stuffs.
Well, no, that's
In
good.
the past.
I'm wondering if this will be a belt that's not like carry it around all the time championship belt, but like a one time, almost like a trophy belt, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so the rumor going around, and again, keep in mind this is completely a rumor. If if it ends up happening, you can say that I have a source. If it doesn't happen, then it's just a rumor. It is what it is. But so the rumor is that there's going to be 2 belts, one black one and one pink one. Obviously because they're for the Owen tournament. And it's not, the rumor doesn't really go much further than that, is that the pink one will be given to the women's winner and the black one will be given to the men's winner. I don't know if it's a tournament, if it's like a defended once a year in the tournament. And like I was thinking about that, and I think it'd be a really cool thing to do is like every year have the Owen tournament happen.
Yes.
And like the champion is automatically like in the finals. I think that would be really cool. So it's like you have the tournament and the winner of the tournament faces the champion. And like the championship's defended once a year. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, it almost seems like now that this is all coming together, it feels like this is their King of the Ring. So I think it's going to be just a yearly thing. And yeah, I see it. Yeah, that's nice. Jordan says an automatic entry into the first round next year. That makes sense too.
Yeah, I think I would go the other way where it's like it's the champion, so like have them defend it against the winner of the tournament. I think that would be really cool. I would also push Tony Khan to make the Owen Hart tournament a pay-per-view.
Like one big tournament in the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, like I think King of the Ring used to do it that way back in the day. I think like have like a pay-per-view where it's literally like just the whole tournament is the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, like have the qualifiers leading up to the pay-per-view, and the thing is it doesn't even need to be like one of AEW's 4 pay-per-views. Like let's assume that AEW continues to do 4 pay-per-views and then they do a 5th one for Forbidden Door. Like I feel like Forbidden Door is going to be a yearly thing moving forward. That's just my assumption. I think you could add a 6th pay-per-view on there and have it be the Owen Hart tournament. I think 6 pay-per-views a year. That's 2 a month or 1 every 2 months.
Yeah.
More or less. I think that would be a really cool idea, really cool thing to do. Yeah. So that was the first thing I got. And then the second thing, I kind of wanted to run through some updates on the Sasha Banks Naomi situation, if you don't mind. Let me just pull it up real quick. Excuse me. Hold on. All right. So this is from Fightful. This was backstage reactions to Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out. Just going to give some quotes from the article. There are numerous staff and talent that Fightful has heard from about the situation, ranging across the board. One talent indicated that they often see criticism of WWE's handling of champions, the tag division, the number of women tag teams, and the booking of women in general, but see even more criticism when talent stand up against it. However, one consensus among those we've talked to, again, we being Fightful, is that leaving during a show you were scheduled for before that segment is something that is likely to lead you getting buried throughout said show. One longtime WWE talent was quick to point out that not even Steve Austin's walkout was done in that fashion. He was gone well before the show in question started. Another female talent indicated that they didn't see anything particularly egregious worth leaving the show over, but understood the creative frustration. Contrary to other reports, Fightful has spoken to numerous talent inside and outside of WWE that have been supportive of Naomi and Sasha Banks' stance and the duo in general. However, the much larger population lies in the not being happy with creative is fine, walking out is fine, but walking out during the show isn't fine camp. So Fightful talked to, this is out of quotes, Fightful is talking to plenty of inside and outside talent. And, you know, there is some support for Sasha and Naomi, but I can also see how people are unhappy with when they walked out. So, I mean, I get that.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to some other podcasts, Road Dogg says that this is a publicity stunt. He's convinced. And Bully Ray thinks that it still possibly could be a work. So I don't know what to think anymore on this one. There's just all kinds of stuff coming out. People are throwing information from all different directions. This is definitely a weird situation going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me continue on. There was also a ton of talent from outside WWE that reached out to Fightful, with those that didn't watch Raw wondering if it was a work, to quickly realize it wasn't. One former WWE talent said that they didn't even understand the situation, but that it took balls to do what Sasha and Naomi did. A female wrestler in another company was surprised with the pay scale at what it is in WWE right now, that the two would deem a creative situation worth walking out on. Other reactions we heard were mixed between someone needed to do something like this to make a stand, and the echoed, can't walk out during a show you're scheduled for sentiment. So it seems like the wrestlers in the wrestling industry are kind of torn here 50-50. Some of them are
Yeah.
kind of taking the stance that, you know, somebody had to do something. And other ones are saying, you know, you're contracted with the Fed, do the job. It is what it is. If you don't like it, don't sign your contracts. Which,
Yeah.
admittedly, that's always been my stance. I mean, I don't like the Fed, but if you're under contract with them, I mean, do what's right for you. But I mean, they also have to understand this is what happens when you sign these contracts. Like you need
Yeah.
to,
Well,
you do need to be somewhat mindful of that.
remember, she walked out on them for 6 months before. And who's to say that she didn't like negotiate with them of like, you know, we need some sort of direction and I want this to happen and that to happen. And what if they completely went back on everything they told her? That's probably another major reason she walked out that we don't know yet, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely think there's some validity to that. I was listening to Busted Open this morning, and I was kind of irritated with Tommy Dreamer a little bit. So Tommy Dreamer's talking on the show, and we'll get back to the Fightful thing in a minute, but
Mm-hmm.
it he's talking about how like it doesn't like nothing's going to change. And like so there's no point in doing anything about it. And I was
That's
just
not the
kind of
way you look at
frustrated.
stuff.
No, it wasn't. And like I like Tommy Dreamer. Like I understood the point he was trying to make, but like it just didn't really come off very well to me. And it was just like he's like the money, the company's still going to make money. Like you cannot like you know you walking out doesn't change that situation. And like I understand, but like you know again, this is what we talked about on the special episode yesterday that we did, where I said like as long as people are still watching the product, it doesn't matter. And like it's the truth, unfortunately. Like while I support the cause, it doesn't matter that Sasha and Naomi walked out if people are still going to tune in and watch the product. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's something that should definitely be kept in mind. You know, the change can happen, but everyone needs to be on board with it. And you
Yeah.
know, there was actually something else that I thought was really funny that Dusty or not Dusty, I'm sorry, that Tommy Dreamer talked about. He talked about Dusty in the Busted Open podcast, where it was it was this thing where he was talking about Vince and just like Vince's weird obsession with putting obstacles in front of people that he didn't want them to succeed. Because like, so Tommy Dreamer's talking about like he had a one-on-one conversation with Vince once, and Vince was like, I don't understand how people still like you after you get your ass kicked week in and week out. And Dreamer apparently responded to him and was like, well, imagine how the fans would react if you had me win my matches or if you had me do well. It's like that like, but like it's funny, but it's the truth. It's like people love Tommy Dreamer, and like he said the same thing about Dusty. It's like Vince has gone on record, according to Tommy Dreamer, and said like I put Dusty in polka dots and he got it over. I gave him a stupid valet and he got it over. And like my question is like, why are you putting people in situations to fucking fail? Like, why are you like, I'm gonna make Dusty Rhodes? And again, this is why Cody's fucked up for what he did to go back there, because they never valued his father. They tried to make his father fail at every single possible turn. And, you know, and then he'll turn around and lick their boots. Like, but I mean, it is what it is. But like, if you have a star like Dusty Rhodes, who was a star in the NWA, and you get him to join your company as you're going through a boom period, like, why is your first instinct like, I'm gonna ruin this guy's career? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know, we're
It
on a
was
bit of a
cutthroat,
tangent.
man.
Cutthroat. I don't know about cutthroat. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to finish this up because we are getting a little long in the time. In regards to reports of Sasha Banks not being liked backstage, Fightful has heard that from several talent that things had seemed to have eased up in that regard in recent months. One talent said they were surprised that reports of that nature hadn't emerged prior, with another saying that she'd been far more outgoing since her return. One staff member who said that while they had not had positive experiences with Banks in the past, they understood why she walked out during the show. They noted that once 8 p.m. rolled around, she wasn't going to be able to speak to Vince about it, and she knew she wasn't going to work the match, so there was no need to stick around. Hence, she walked out.
Yep.
One person close to the situation believed that the statement WWE put out during the show was a way to pit those talent against each other, but also believed that all of those involved would be quick to reach out to one another to clear up misconceptions. It's worth noting that this is a collection of aggregate of talent and staff they were able to hear back from, and in no way reflects the entire locker room or every talent. Fightful has still not heard from Naomi or Sasha Banks on the situation.
Yeah, it is crazy. We haven't heard from either one of them yet. Just radio silence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So that's what I have. I felt like it was worth reporting on.
Yeah.
Kind of get there that there is some split and some divide here in the wrestling community, in the locker rooms.
Yeah, because that first report they put out said that they had a problem with working with two people in the match. And that was obviously false because they just had matches with those two. Like, I don't believe a word that they put out, man.
Yeah, no, you really can't. And I just, man, I don't know. I hate them.
I
I
wish they would
hate
have
that
done.
company.
I wish they would have done what Jordan said. He says he wished they would have kayfabe Vince by waiting for their music to play before they actually walked out.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jeff Hardy kind of already stole that.
Yeah.
Stole that idea, you know.
Mid match.
Oh, it seems like Jordan might have gotten the Rampage card.
Moxley Danielson versus Lucha Angel and Matt Sydal. Red Velvet Chris
versus Chris
Statlander. Spears
Statlander.
versus
A Giant.
a Giant.
And then House of Black versus Uno and Fuego. And 10.
Okay.
You're not a shithead. That's not very nice. Don't speak
no,
about
we're
yourself
not,
like that. Yeah, stop it. Coming in clutch here with the
I mean,
preview where I failed.
You were one of our winners of a action figure and you donated it to charity, so that's freaking awesome of you.
Yeah.
But that is all that I got for tonight. What about you?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that about wraps up everything I have for us. Rampage is at 7:00, the golden time frame,
Yes.
time slot.
That is the
Love
time
that
slot that
7:00
I enjoy.
It is absolutely the best time slot. But I mean, yeah, looking forward to Double or Nothing week where we're getting really close.
Hell yeah, I can't wait. I'm super excited for Double or Nothing. Need to see Punk get that belt, strap him up.
Yeah. So you know what? Also, before we end the show, I have some homework for you, and I think it could be a really good idea because you talked about how on Mondays you just feel the need to put on Monday Night Raw. I am challenging you, and I expect a few moments of your time to give an opinion on next Wednesday. Monday night, I want you to sit down and play Earthbound. You and the wife. Go ahead, just boot it up. It's on the Switch. I'm dead serious. If you already have Switch Online, it's there. Just go in the Super Nintendo collection and play it. I'm not saying beat it, but it's a great game. It is a trendsetter, if you would, for its time. And do that on Monday night. I implore you to do that instead of watching Monday Night Raw. Play Earthbound for the Super Nintendo.
I'll have to get Purple to charge one of the Switches here. We got 2 of them, so I'll definitely get one of them charged up. And
Hey, there you go. Yeah, make it
out.
a fun little night because I think she'd like the game too. It's a very good game. Now, like, admittedly, because it is a bit before my time, I'm not gonna bullshit you. I haven't beaten it, but I have played it. It's
MJF going through a table soon. I hope so, Jordan.
That would be really cool.
That's an awesome.
But yeah,
I like it.
yeah. So that's your homework. Don't watch Monday Night Raw. Play Earthbound. And yeah.
I can't think of a reason to watch Monday Night Raw at the moment, so I'm good.
All right, good. I'm happy to hear that.
All right, man. Close us out.
Anyway. All right, well, this has been episode 35 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe or follow, depending on where you find us. Thank you for listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Table Show or on Facebook and Instagram at The Broken Tables Podcast. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and even pay-per-views. Speaking of pay-per-views, Double or Nothing is next Sunday. We will be doing a post-Dynamite show next week, post-Rampage show next week, a pre-show where I will put up my Broken Predictions Championship, which Jeff has still not made a belt for me, and I would like for the belt to be made, preferably soon. And we will be doing a post-show of the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. We hope to hear. Sorry. Yeah. We hope to see you guys again, but until next time, see you later.
Right on. Peace.